For all of the reasons that I just explained, that's why, in my opinion, I think he is the most clutch player to ever wear the Argentina national team shirt. Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and welcome to another video. And this time around, we are going to talk about Argentine players, and not just any Argentine players, but the ones that are the most clutch. Who is the most clutch player in Argentine national team history? And I want everybody to think about the hundreds, if not thousands, of players that have worn the beautiful blue and white jersey. And while Lionel Messi and Diego Maradona, more often than not, dominate the headlines, right? They've given us a lot of memorable moments. There are many other players that have given us just as many moments, a lot of them legendary. Whether it's Sergio Goycochea's heroics at the 1990 World Cup, Claudio Canidia's dagger into the Brazilian hearts, Martin Palermo's iconic celebration in the rain, Sergio Romero just sending Argentina to the finals of the 2014 World Cup, or most recently, Emiliano Dibu Martinez's dominance on penalty kicks. We are certainly spoiled for choice. But at the very top of any sport, of any team, stand the absolute greats. The ones who you just know when the chips are down, they're going to come up for you. And Argentina has many of them. 3 FIFA World Cup trophies, 15 Copa America titles, a Confederations Cup, and 2 Finalissima trophies make up just a little bit of the illustrious history of the Argentina national team. And today, as I mentioned, we are going to talk about who is the most clutch player or players, at least in recent memory. Argentina have taken part in 6 finals at a World Cup in 1930, 1978, 1986, 1990, 2014, and 2022. And in those 6 finals, they have managed 11 goals. So just under 2 goals per final. And while they have won 15 Copa America titles, only a handful of them came with a finals format. And that is to say that many of them were won back when the final round of a Copa America consisted of one group and several teams, and whoever finished the top of that group would win the Copa America. With that said, let's take a look at the Argentine goal scorers in tournament finals. Note that these exclude Olympics and under 20 tournaments, and as well as I just mentioned, the group format for finals when it came to Copa America. So if we go back all the way to 1930, the first ever World Cup, we have 2 goal scorers, Carlos Puisel and Guillermo Stabile. And then at the 1937 Copa America, we have Vicente de la Mata, who scored twice, so 2 goals by him. And then if we cut to the World Cup era in the 70s and 80s, Mario Kempes with 2 goals in the 1978 World Cup final, Daniel Bertoni with 1 goal in that same final. And then in 1986, we have Tata Brown, 1 goal in the final, Jorge Valdano, 1 goal in the final, and Jorge Burruchaga with the 1 goal in the final as well. Then if we cut to the 1990s, we have Leonardo Rodriguez, who had 1 goal in the 1992 Confederations Cup final. Claudio Canidia, who also had a goal in that same final, and also the next year in the 1993 Artemio Franchi Cup, which became known as the Finalissima. Diego Simeone, another goal in the 1992 Confederations Cup final, and then, of course, the legendary Gabriel Batistuta, who had 2 goals in the 1993 Copa America final. Up next, we have in the 2000s, so Christian Kili Gonzalez, who had 1 goal in the 2004 Copa America final against Brazil. Cesar Delgado, who also had a goal in that same final. And then Pablo Aimar, little Pablito, with the 1 goal in the 2005 Confederations Cup final. And Aimar's goal in the 2005 Confederations Cup final was the last goal Argentina would score in a final until the 2021 Copa America by Angel Di Maria. Yes. So no goals in the 2007 Copa America final, no goal in 2014, no goal in 2015, no goal in 2016. But Di Maria, another player. There you go. Angel Di Maria, 3 goals in finals. 2021 Copa America final, Finalissima in 2022, and of course, who could forget that goal against France in the World Cup final in 2022. And then Lautaro Martinez with a goal in the Finalissima against Italy, And Paulo Dybala, who came on as a substitute in that same match, would also score against Italy. And last but certainly not least, Lionel Messi with 2 goals in the 2022 World Cup final. So if we break it up, we have 19 different goal scorers, a total of 26 goals scored in 12 finals. We have 13 players who scored 1 goal, 5 players who scored 2 goals, and 1 player who scored 3 goals. And obviously not everything is measured in goals. We spoke about, or I mentioned, right, Goicoechea, Dibu Martinez, Sergio Romero, their saves in the penalty shootouts or at the World Cup. Javier Mascherano, that tackle, that block on Robin in 2014 in the semifinals of a World Cup. So again, not everything's measured in goals, but if we're talking about clutch players, in my opinion, and I'm trying to exclude the 2 aliens that are Lionel Messi and Diego Maradona because it just wouldn't be fair, right? The amount of memorable moments, the amount of times they've just came out trumps for Argentina. Maradona at a World Cup, or even in the qualifiers, Messi in the qualifiers, Messi at a World Cup. So putting those 2 aliens aside, in my opinion, and I'm going to explain why, in my opinion, I think Angel Di Maria is the most clutch player of all time for the Argentina national team. And let me know in the comments below if you agree or if you disagree. Let me know, and let me know why if you disagree, and if why, who is in your opinion, the most clutch player of all time? Because there's a lot of them, right? You can pick a bunch. And I'll explain why. If we look at Di Maria, yes, he's been a fan favorite throughout the years with the national team, but he's also taken a lot of stick for Argentina and from Argentina fans and the media, myself included. I've given him stick in the past. I thought he should have stepped aside in previous years, and I'm the first to put my hand up and say, thank God I was wrong. Thank God he continued. But if we look at his trajectory with the national team, and I'm not even talking about the goal against Nigeria in the 2008 Olympic final, or what he won and how well he played at the 2007 Under-20 World Cup. I'm just talking about the senior national team. If we look at that, look at his goal, for example, against Switzerland. Extra time, World Cup, round of 16. He scores the winner in extra time with about a minute or 2 remaining. He scores. The next World Cup against France, just an out of this world strike. Di Maria gets Argentina back into that very memorable game. Ultimately, not a good result for Argentina, but Di Maria clutch in that goal, in that game with that goal. So those 2 goals in and of themselves are big goals, right? Big moments for Argentina, despite the fact that, yes, Argentina did not go on to win those World Cups, but still very memorable. And then if we continue, the importance of that goal that he scored in 2021 against Brazil at the Maracanã cannot be understated, because it's not just a goal, and it's not even just a goal that won Argentina the Copa America. It's a goal that did so much more than that. And I spoke to Sebastian Garcia about this, off air, and we were talking, and I said something, and he agreed. I told him, Argentina do not win the 2022 World Cup without Di Maria's goal in the final against Brazil. And he said, Roy, of course, I agree. And I think a lot of us could agree, because that goal, as I mentioned, it wasn't just lifting the trophy at the Maracanã. It wasn't just that. It was getting the monkey off their backs. It was Argentina's first senior trophy since 1993, a country that lives and breathes football and dies for football. Their first trophy since 1993. And then look at what the team ended up achieving, right? They were on an undefeated run that started before that. And then the undefeated run continued. So they won the Copa America. That gave them even more confidence. And they were just playing with swagger, right? On the pitch. And then we get to the Finalissima, and he scores again, and another chip goal, right? It's a signature move. Another chip goal and another trophy for Argentina. And then came the big one. And again, as I mentioned, Argentina do not win the 2022 World Cup without Di Maria's goal in the final a year prior, or a year and a half prior, against Brazil. Not at all, not by a long shot. And the other thing as well is, a lot of us talk about 2014 and how unlucky the team was. And a lot of us say if Di Maria was healthy in 2014 against Germany, Argentina win that World Cup. And none of us have a time machine, or at least not yet. So we're not going to go back in time, and we don't know whether or not that's a fact, whether or not it's true. But just based off the way he plays in finals, the goals that he scores, it's not just he plays well, but he scores goals. And as much as I love every other player that has put on the shirt for Argentina, I really cannot think of another player that has been so clutch, that has improved so much, so late in their careers. If you really think about it, a lot of time, Di Maria in his 20s, he'd be playing with Argentina. He'd play one game just amazingly, and then the next match maybe not so good, and he'd give the ball away, but then he'd just show up with a dribble or some goal. And then suddenly, as he got older, it's almost like he got older, he got wiser, he got more mature, and he just turned back the clock, and he kept performing, kept scoring goals. And again, I'm putting Messi, I'm putting Maradona aside because, as I mentioned, they have if we want to talk about their individual moments and how many times they've come up clutch for Argentina, we'd be here forever and ever and ever and ever talking about them. But those two aliens aside, I can't think of anybody else. I really can't. At least not in recent memory. I truly can't. Gabriel Batistuta scored some incredible goals for Argentina. And at one point before Messi was the leading goal scorer for the national team. And yes, he scored goals in finals, right, to Copa America. But he, for whatever reason, and this is not a knock on Batistuta because I love Gabriel Batistuta. I still do. For whatever reason, he was just unlucky, right? If you want to talk about the 1998 World Cup, he had an effort in the quarterfinals that hit the post against the Netherlands, right? He was just unlucky. Not a knock on him. Love the guy. I really do. Who else? Emiliano Martinez. Very possible. A very good shout if someone wants to say Emi Martinez, because the saves he made in 2021 at that Copa America, and then the penalty saves, and then he had a very good final as well against Brazil, and then you're thinking about the big saves he made at this World Cup, at the last World Cup, that free kick against Mexico, the saves against the Netherlands in the penalty shootout, before that, a round prior against Australia, that last effort by Australia that he saved, and then you get to the final itself and the big save there right before penalty kicks, and then penalty kicks. So you could certainly make an argument for Emi Martinez, but in my opinion, it's got to be Angel Di Maria. And for all of the reasons that I just explained, that's why, in my opinion, I think he is the most clutch player to ever wear the Argentina national team shirt. If you agree or not, let me know. And what are your favorites? What are your favorite Di Maria moments? What are your favorite, if it's not Di Maria, who's the most clutch player of all time? And what are your favorite moments of that player? Let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully I didn't miss any player or any big moments, because God knows there's a lot of them. There really are. And I can make videos and videos and videos just talking about them. But just to try and encompass just a little tiny bit, at least of recent memory, this is what I have, and this is what I could come up with. So let me know in the comments if you agree or not. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. Once more, my name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and thank you for watching.